Okay, guys, let's go over the Unit 13 notes here. Molarity is going to be a thing, so we got to remember that. All right, that's moles over liters. Acids add H plus ions to solutions, so that's like the whole basis for everything. H plus ions, that's what acids are. Bases add OH minus ions. This is why when we put an acid and a base together, we get water. The H plus bonds with the OH minus, and you get H2O. Now, a strong acid is like a strong electrolyte; it completely breaks apart. Whereas a weak acid or a weak base doesn't fully break apart. All right. Now, we're not going to get into that because weak acids, there's a ton of them out there, and we have to get into equilibrium and things like that. But just understand that there are strong and weak acids. The pH scale is a logarithmic scale, which means it's based on factors of 10. So all right, and it measures the concentration of H plus. So if you have a pH of 2 and then a pH of 1, the pH of 1 has a concentration of H plus ions that's 10 times greater than a pH of 2. And so every single jump, I know it looks a little weird, but every time you lower a number on the pH scale, the concentration of H plus increases by a factor of 10. So on the pH scale, acids have a pH that are less than 7. pH 7 is neutral, and then pH greater than 7, that's basic. All right, so that's just how we look at things. Why is 7 neutral? This is the important piece right here. It's because the concentration of H plus and the concentration of OH minus are equal. That's what makes it neutral. It's not, you can't answer as neither an acid nor a base. That doesn't really make sense. What we're driving at here is H plus, OH minus. And the only thing that's neutral is water. That's the only thing. Move on down here. The pH, this is the equation for pH. It's the negative log of the concentration of H plus. That's it. As far as logarithms go, I wouldn't ask you like what a logarithm is or anything like that. You just have to find the button on your calculator. And so here, water self-ionizes. It breaks apart in H plus and OH minus. All right. And this is in an equilibrium. Now, not all the H2O breaks apart. All right, just some. And what we know is the H plus and OH minus there's the same amount, the same concentration for each of them. And what ends up happening is for H2O, the concentration of H plus is 10 to the negative seventh molar, which means for OH minus, it's 10 to the negative seventh molar because that makes it neutral. And if we plug this number into our pH equation, we get 7. This is why we say 7 is neutral. There's nothing crazy there. It's a physical constant. The pH is a comparison of H plus to OH minus, so we can use this Boxen equation to figure things out. And if we go down here, it's not too crazy. If the pH is 4, then the concentration of H plus is 10 to the negative 4, which means OH minus is 10 to the negative 10th. If you remember multiplying exponents, we're adding these exponents together. Negative 4 plus negative 10 gives us negative 14. No big deal. If the pH is 10, H plus is 10 to the negative 10th, which means OH minus is 10 to the negative 4th. This is basic because there's more OH minus than H plus. This is acidic because there's more H plus than OH minus. As we go down here, we have to agree that 10 to the negative 3.5, that is a real number. You put that in a calculator, you will get an actual decimal. So here, if our pH is 3.5, this is our concentration of H plus, therefore this is our concentration of OH minus, this is acidic. Down here, if pH is 12.5, you guys can handle that. So this is our base, I don't want to say that. This is the general idea for acids and bases. There's a lot more to it, but what I want you to think about going forward, especially in biology, is when you talk about an acidic solution, there are H plus ions, and when you talk about a basic solution, there's OH minus ions. All right, so these two things we can take with us into biology, into physics, into all sorts of things. And it also should give you an idea of what's happening in nature. We can talk about acid rain or how the oceans are acidifying, or why when you pour bleach onto either bacteria or grass, you will kill it. This all has to do with acidity and basicity.